Also, I think we need something on the site that says for laborers, they can learn skills and get accredited for those skills so that they can earn more money on their next job. Yeah, I think I included the wrong logo. Man, why the frick is this so big? Alright, hold on.
Is there really is a lot of different integrations here, and they seem to be constantly adding new ones. Now, I'm using Telegram at the minute with OpenClaw, so I do want to use Telegram for this again. Now, this is really important. Do not press enter on the screen. You can select the channels that you want to set up by pressing spacebar, and you can set up multiple channels at this point. Now, I'm just going to enable Telegram, so I'm going to press enter. Now, all we have to do is set up a new bot, enable spacebar. Do not press it with OpenClaw, so I do want to use Telegram for this again. Now, this is really important. Do not press enter on the screen. You can select the channels that you want to set up by pressing spacebar, and you can set up multiple channels at this point. Now, I'm just going to enable Telegram, so I'm going to press enter. Now, all we have to do is set up a new bot in BotFather and then pass in the access token. Now, this is really easy to set up. You can use Telegram on your phone or the desktop app or the web app. It doesn't matter. In contacts, simply search for BotFather. Then what we have to do is run the command /new bot. This will allow us to create a new bot with BotFather. So first let's give it a name. I'll just call mine Hermes Assistant. And now we have to set a username. So this is typically all lowercase and underscores.
But
I'll just
this
call
isn't doing anything that I want it to do.
Day 18 built an AI company with 0 human employees. Today I built something really crazy. This is an AI calling agent for a landscaping company. Oh, hi.
Hey, Hermes. This is Chris from Greenscape Landscaping. Quick question. Are you 100% happy with how your outdoor space looks right now?
Not really, why?
Well, our team at Greenscape designs, installs, and maintains top-tier landscapes so you never have to think about yard work again. Want to hear how we do it?
Yeah, sure, but I don't have money for that.
I totally get it, Hermes. But let me ask you this. If I could show you a project where a client's home value jumped 15% just from landscaping, would you at least take a free consultation?
Hello legends, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up Hermes Agent for the very first time. We'll start off by going across to GitHub and then downloading and setting up Hermes Agent step by step. We'll plug it into Telegram, we'll plug it into a free local AI model that's running on your computer, and we'll also plug it into a free local web search that's running on your computer. Now both of these two things will need to download some different tools, and I'll cover all that in this video, so that by the end of this video you'll be able to chat with a Hermes agent that is 100% private. So the first thing we need to do is go across to the Hermes agent GitHub and then copy this install command. Now before we set this up, I don't recommend running this on your main computer. Best thing to do is get a separate device and then install Hermes agent on that device. The reason being is that on your main computer, you most likely have very private files, passwords, you probably logged into your banking applications. So depending on the settings you give Hermes agent, if it ever gets hacked, it can possibly access all that stuff. So you want to separate this, give it its own device, and then run it on that. So assuming you have that separate device, open up a terminal and then paste in that install command. Now Hermes agent's going to go away and look at all the packages and libraries you have on your computer.
Up, TC?
It'll then determine any missing packages that...
Let's see. Yes, I don't know if you're still here, TC, but what we're doing is we're building a headless CMS that works in any website. You just insert this code in your head tag, and then you get like an interface to like Medium to publish pages and blog posts. We're also working on this bricked up site, which is a site for laborers and contractors and clients to be able to post like a job that they need done, and it's essentially like an accredited portfolio. So whoever posts a job and will be able to hire the laborer or the GC for it, and then say you're like a laborer, you learn some skills on the job. Well, they'll take like before and after pictures of the work, and so if you learned like framing or some sort of plumbing on the job, they'll all take pictures of it, and then the GC or the client will accredit you for your work. So then you basically have like an entire accredited portfolio for the skills that you learned. This will allow you to get more pay on your next job. And instead of just like stealing other people's work, over here, your current MRR is realistic. Yeah, I know. I gotta get better at marketing side hustle. Um, but yeah, so it's basically like an accredited portfolio site that allows you to make more money. And so, like, every laborer or every person that's getting into like construction or like a blue collar job, they're going to start out as a laborer, and you might learn different skills on each job. Well, then that'll get accredited by the GC or the client, and then say like instead of um instead of just like taking pictures of stuff you found online and saying it's yours, this will be a site that you can trust. And so if anybody questions your work, you can say like, hey, I did this job, here's the pictures of it. It got accredited by the client, it got accredited by the GC that hired me, and I learned XYZ skills on the job. So say you start off at like $15 an hour, you learn framing on a job, then you learn drywall on another job, then you might the next job you do, you could charge $16 to $18 or something, you know. And if anyone questions you, you can just send them your profile with all your work, and they're good to go. Also, what this allows you to do is for like GCs. So like GCs, a lot of the times if they're doing like a government job, you're not going to get paid for that job until like 6 months out or maybe even longer. So all the GCs are going to have to like take on all that bill the whole time they're working on the project. So what this allows you to do, since it's an accredited portfolio, the GC could say like, hey, I did this job for this municipality, and it was a $2 million job or like a $500,000 job, and they enjoyed every little bit of it. So now an accreditor or a loan officer might check out your profile on here, and they might give you like a $2 million credit limit with lower interest rates or something, so that you can take on that job, complete it with that credit, and then once you get paid, just pay it off instantly, right? So it allows GCs to take on bigger jobs. But yeah, it's essentially just like an accredited portfolio, so that you don't have to lie about your work, or you have a centralized place that just tells you like, hey, I'm worthy for these skills, you know. But yeah, and then side hustle, this is like another project. It's a headless CMS, so you just insert this script right here and paste that into any website, whether it's WordPress, your own custom site, what is it? I don't know all the platforms, but you just post it in your head tag essentially, and then you get like some sort of like Medium type editor, and then you can create pages, blog posts, all from like a iPhone app. That way, if you're building sites for clients and stuff, you could custom build the entire site and then just give them this little app, and they can create all the content they want. Also, I just submitted a build for my fitness app, which allows you to, the heck? Screen just went out. Which allows you to send messages and fitness challenges to your friends. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. So yeah, and then here's the iOS app. can track your macros. This is live on the App Store, by the way. It's called Fitnit. You can track your nutrition. You can do automatic workout tracking. So this uses body tracking technology and counts your reps for you automatically. But yeah, we're just trying to deploy these, and I'm also trying to learn about this Hermes agent right here. Because I need to get better at marketing, and I feel like if this thing's able to run automatically and get stuff built faster, I can just have this run out like multiple different projects at a time and set everything up for me while I'm like at work, or I'm not driving, but just like walking or something, you know, and I can come back and my project's built. So I'm trying to research about this because I don't understand, like, anytime I see people, how do I market the apps? I mean, so I have social accounts which I post a little bit on, but another thing I'm trying to do is build like a content media scheduler, and once I get that going, then I'll try to build like an AI like generation thing that might help a little bit. But really, I just need to create a lot more content and have systems set up to where it gets distributed everywhere, so that I'm the main person that everyone's looking at. But yeah, I mean, I mainly just post on social media, make these YouTube videos. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the
So that you have
Hermes
it then
agent
automatically
does while...
installed.
Oh yeah, let's see. Wait. I didn't do an update. I don't know why this is not taking in that new logo. Oh man, sorry. I got over a sickness like a week ago, so, and the weather's been changing like crazy, so my sinuses are all jacked. Or just drag it into Finder. Since the nav already references, it'll... Are you able to move the one I just attached into our folder structure here and use it instead? Let me do this. So right here I got the iOS app, which I already did and everything I need to. It's submitted. Here's our little goal sheet. So bricked up site live, create a social media scheduler app, headless CMS live, figure out how to use Hermes agent, and then Fitnit update submitted. So, but yeah, this site, the bricked up, it oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm well now. It's just like it's snowing outside, and so I think the weather change has got like my nose running. But yeah, I'm good now. But the reason I wanted to build this site was because I'm a server as my day job, which also I'm trying to run this. I don't know if you heard this, Career Ops by Santifier, to try to find a better job. So I'm also doing that too, because I definitely need a better job. But yeah, this job, or this site came up because I'm a server, and I would talk to general contractors, and they're always like, oh, we have tons of work, we just don't have the reliable labor that want to show up, you know? And I think a lot of it's because the laborers, they get paid so little because nobody knows what exactly their skills are, and they can easily lie about it. So you might have somebody that says they're super good, they get on the job site and they're terrible. So then you either don't call them back, or they're just lazy and don't show up, you know. So this will kind of say like, okay, the GC can say like, this person showed up all the time, he does good work, here's everything that he's done, etc. Why is this not centered? Can you center the links in the navigation bar, please? But yeah, this definitely looks AI, which sucks, but I don't know, I might just deploy it like so. Start building your future today, bud. I made this logo. I really like it. I don't know. Hate me if you don't like it. What do y'all think about this logo? Is it cool? Yay or nay? Also, what do y'all think about the name, Bricked Up? It's pretty sick, huh? Oh, apparently, like, Cloudflare has skills, too, which you can set up, like, literally anything in Cloudflare. Like, they have backend, they have hosting, they have, like, edge kind of functions. So, I really want to learn more about Cloudflare so that I can have, like, everything set up, you know? We got our 2 sites. What is this? Oh, this is me searching something earlier. I already submit that, so I don't need that. Has anybody here used Paperclip? I don't know what it does, essentially. Like, I guess you get, like, a user interface for managing agents. So, yeah, I mean, you get, like, all these different things. Your work history verified and portable. Signed off by the hiring GC, the job creator, or both, creating an uneditable, verified record of your skills. Use it as a marketing portfolio to attract higher paying work, demonstrate trade progression, and prove your expertise to new hires instantly. Yeah. Yeah. Subscribe. We'll check your stuff from time to time. Hey, thank you, Side Hustle Builds. Are you getting off right now, or are you staying to hang out? I appreciate the subscription too. I'm gonna try to keep building every Thursdays and every Friday. So tune in every Thursday and Friday if you can. Alright, so this looks good. I think we can deploy this. I'm just wondering what kind of backend I should add. Like, should I use Firebase, Supabase, or Convex, or just use Cloudflare? For the onboarding or the screens after you hit get started, can you make those not display full screen on the web version and make it like centered so that it's not taking up the entire width of the screen? Need to oh, okay, it's still working on that. Oh yeah, here's my personal site, which I don't know what, like, I just can't seem to decide on something that looks good on this personal site. Like, everything just looks terrible. It's a little game I made. don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to make it look good. Do not know.
Once it's done installing, we have two options, one for a quick setup and then one for a full setup. We'll be going through the full setup step by step together. Now for models, I don't want to use any paid models, so I'm going to go to more providers and then go all the way down until I get to custom endpoint. So at this stage, we want to figure out how to get a local model onto our computer and then plug it into Hermes Agent. And to do that, we're going to be downloading and using something called Ollama. Ollama is going to give us the ability to download and manage models, local AI models on our device, and then also plug them into tools like Hermes Agent. So let's go ahead and copy this install command. Open up a brand new terminal.
Cool, actually. I'll be right back, guys. I got to use the baño.
And then hit enter. So this command's going to go ahead and install Ollama on your computer. Once it's done, let's go back into Ollama and start browsing some local models. We'll click on models, and over here we can see a bunch of free open source models that we can download and install into our computer. I'm going to go ahead with Gemma 4. I've actually been doing a lot of testing with Gemma 4 recently. I've been doing a lot of this actually using OpenClaw, and these models are super small and work very well with OpenClaw. Now, unfortunately, I did try the E2B, which is a 7 gig model with Hermes Agent, and it wasn't able to do like basic tasks. I asked it to do some web searching, and it wasn't able to follow those instructions, which is pretty disappointing. In OpenClaw, it actually worked perfectly fine. But I then upgraded to the E4B, which is a 9.6 gig model, and it was able to do those basic requests. So what I recommend is just finding a model. You can even browse different models on Olama. Find one that fits on your device and actually works for your use case. So you might need to go away and do some testing. Now, if the device that you're using doesn't actually have the ability to download a model onto it, like if you're using a VPS or a really like
Bruh, I just want to know. $135 gigs available.
like a not very powerful computer, you can still use Olama and use the cloud version. They've got a $20 a month tier. It has really good API limits. You can also use that with Hermes Agent. But for this video, we're just going to go ahead and download this local model. So I'm just going to copy this model name, and now I'm going to start downloading the model to my computer. So I'm going to go type in Olama, pull, and then paste in the model name, then hit enter. And then Olama will download and install that model onto your computer. And if you ever want to see all the models you have installed on your device, you can just go Olama list, hit enter, and then you'll be able to see all the models that you have on your device. And back in the Hermes agent settings, we're asked to enter an API base URL. This base URL just needs to point across to Olama, and then whenever we download a new model, we can just select that model using this setting. So the base URL for Olama is always this. So you can just copy this down as it is, http localhost 11434-v1. We're going to go ahead and hit enter. And for the API key, I'm not going to set one now, so I'm just going to hit enter. And over here, we can see all the models that we have available to us. And these are the exact same models that we had over here when we use the Olama list command. So the cool thing is that whenever you go off and you download a new model, it's always going to appear under the Olama list. I'm going to be using the Gemma 4 E4B. I'm just going to press 1 and then hit enter. For the context length, I'm just going to hit enter, and it's going to automatically detect what it needs to set. Now we have the option for text to speech. So for text to speech, I don't want to use
text to speech. $300 MB model, Neo TTS. I don't know what's going on. Their website is broken, my dog. This is better, but we don't really need the hard shadows or the like visible container. We just need to limit the size of the buttons to not take up the full width of the screen on the web version.
Use any cloud versions. I actually prefer, when I'm running these AI agents, to always use locally hosted stuff. So for this instance, I'm going to go with this NEUTTS, which is local on a device. I'm going to hit enter, and it's asking me if I want to download and install all the dependencies. I'm going to go capital Y and hit enter for yes. For the terminal backend, we're just going to keep the recommended.
Isolated container with configurable resources. Okay. Local, shit. Run on a remote machine. Docker might be cool.
Did local, so we're going to hit enter. And then on the bottom here, we have some specialized agent questions. So the first one is, what is the maximum tool calling iterations that you want per your conversation? So if your agent ever has to go away and do complex tool calling for you, like multiple times execute a tool, get a response, execute the next tool, things like deep research or actually creating documents and sending them across different places and managing files, all that kind of stuff has many, many iterations. So over here, you can set your limits. I think really this is going to come down to a bunch of trial and error depending on what model you're using, what task you're performing. So all this stuff you can change later on. I'm going to go with the default of max iteration 60. I'm going to hit enter. And same thing for the tool progress display. So every time we have a conversation with the Hermes agent, we can either choose to display all the different micro steps that it's doing in the background before actually.
Man.
Actually comes to us with a response. I'm going to choose this as all because I like to see if I'm ever doing web research, what are the actual tools that it's executing. If I'm changing files or doing different things, I want to see all those micro steps in case I can make some optimizations later on. So I'm going to hit enter and keep the default. Same thing with context compression. As the context gets really long, then your agent gets a little bit dumber because there's just so many tokens floating in the balance. So by compressing that, not only does your agent retain some of the smartness across a really long conversation, but also you manage the context window. So for the smaller models that we're using, we have like a 128,000 token context window. So you might want to set a lower compression. So we're just going to go with the default of 0.5. And for session reset mode, so another important thing to note here is that if you never reset your session and you're constantly chatting with your agent through Telegram and you're accumulating 3 to 4 messages per day, after 7 days, you've got 7 times 4, so 28 different messages that you've accumulated. And you don't really realize that all those actually stay within the agent context. So for these smaller models, it's actually very important to constantly flush that context as you work on a new task. So over here, we have the recommended, which is either by inactivity or by daily reset, which means either every 24 hours it's going to reset your conversation, or if you're inactive for a period of time, like if you don't message it for 5 hours, then you want the conversation to be reset. So let's go with the recommended setting. And for the inactivity timeout, it's going to be 1440 minutes. I'm just going to keep it at default. Now, all this stuff you can change later on. Whatever you're setting here, use it for a few days, use it for a week. And if you find that it's not really meeting your needs, you can just come back into the settings and then raise it or lower it as you need. And for daily reset hour, assuming we're using 24-hour time, the default here is 4, which is just 4 a.m. local time. And now we have the option of setting up some different channels. So to set up Telegram, you have to hit the space.
What up, World Amazing? Right now I'm trying to learn about the Hermes agent. I just shipped the update for my fitness app. which allows you to send messages and challenges to your friends, which it was basically just the UI update. The messaging is already in there. And then but yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I can use the Hermes agent so that I can build stuff faster and have it just run in the background, or I can chat with it on my phone. But we're building bricked up site, which it's like an accredited portfolio for GCs and laborers. Which allows you to share your portfolio. It gets accredited by whoever hired you, and you can make more money over time. And then we're also building a headless CMS that allows you to create pages, blog posts, etc., just by including this small snippet inside your head tag of any website. What is the link?
Bar to then select it and then hit enter.
What is that link for? What is that?
And now we're asked for the bot token, so let's go across to Telegram, go to the bot folder, and then type in /new bot, hit enter, and we're asked to choose a name for our bot, so I'm just going to go / and then hit enter. And now we're bringing up some different channels. So to set up Telegram, you have to hit the space bar to then select.
So we got Telegram, Discord, Slack, Matrix, I don't know what that is, Mattermost, don't know what that is, WhatsApp, webhooks,
and then hit enter. And now we're asked for the bot token, so let's go across to Telegram, go to the bot folder, and then type in /new bot, hit enter, and we're asked to choose a name for our bot, so I'm just going to go Hermes demo, and now for the username, this has to end in bot, so I'm going to go Hermes demo bot. If you run this process and you choose a name and it's not available, the bot folder would just tell you have to choose a different name. So that's why I put the 001 here to try and make it a bit more unique. Now that we have the bot created, let's copy this bot token and paste
help you with what? What do you need help with?
it into here and hit enter. And now over here, we're asked to import our Telegram user ID. Whatever you put into here is going to be allowed to message your Hermes agent. If you leave it blank and you just hit enter, that means if anyone finds your Hermes agent on Telegram, they can have conversations with.
Telegram bot. Restricted. Who can use your bot?
So really, you want to be very restrictive over here. I recommend just starting off with your own Telegram bot token. So to find your Telegram user ID, you can pop open the sidebar, and then search for this name. It's raw_data_bot, which is this first contact over here. Let's click it, and all you need to do is press start, and then you'll be able to see your Telegram ID over here. So let's just copy that, paste it into here, and hit enter. And let's set our Telegram user ID as the home channel. So we're going to go for a capital Y and hit enter. And we're going to choose yes. We want to install the gateway as a launch service. Let's hit enter and start the service now. Yes again. And now we've got a list of tools that we can give to our Hermes agent. So you can actually go through these one by one.
Cool, that's dope. So web search and scraping. No API key. Browser automation. Terminal processing, file operations, code execution, vision, image analysis. Image generation with no API key? How? Unless that's saying like he doesn't have an API key.
One. If you press the space bar, you can either deselect or select them. So this is up to you what you want to choose, but let's say for now I don't want to do any vision or image analysis, image generation, and actually that seems all good for me for right now. I'm just going to hit enter from any of these settings, and it's going to take me to the next page. Now this setting is about giving our
local browser, free headless Chromium, browser base, Firecrawl, cloud browser with a remote.
agent access to a browser. For now, I'm just going to skip this and keep the defaults. For our text-to-speech provider, even though we set it up before, we're just going to go skip and keep the default. I'm not really sure why we have that setting twice. And for our search provider,
search provider. Okay, that's cool. Firecrawl Cloud.
for web search, we're not going to go to Firecrawl Cloud. We're going to go down and go to Firecrawl self-hosted. So let's click on enter. And now at this stage, we have to set up Firecrawl. So Firecrawl has an option to use a paid cloud service where you can pay them and pay per use. Or you can also go and use their self-hosted version. So go across to this self-host MD file. And you can read through here. And actually, it was a little bit tricky getting this set up for the very first time. So I've just got a bunch of commands I'm going to give you to run. Now, before we can install Firecrawl on our computer, we first have to download and install Docker. Docker is a container, and then we're going to be installing Firecrawl within that container. So go across to docker.com and just choose the correct version for yourself. After you download and install Docker, and now we want to go across to a brand new terminal, and we want to copy these commands, and I'm going to leave this in the description of this video. Copy these commands. Actually, before you do, put them into your ChatGPT or Claude. Explain what you're doing, that you're setting up Hermes agent with locally hosted Firecrawl. Is going to be default configuration, so maybe your Claude will be able to give you some tips on like what to change for your personal setup. I'm just going to paste in the commands over here. So once again, you have to have Docker installed and turned on for this to work. So before you run these commands, make sure your Docker is open. So it looks like it's installed and started up in Docker. And you can confirm that by opening up your Docker application, and you can see you have a Firecrawl container over here that's running. So back with Hermes agent, the default URL that they list over here is the actual URL that we need for the Firecrawl instance. I'm just going to copy what was there just now, and I've just pasted it in. I'm going to hit enter, and it looks like we've just gone back a couple of settings. I'm just going to hit enter again.
I wonder what Firecrawl is. Firecrawl. Where am I from? I'm from the US. I don't know if that helps you at all. Power AI agents with Queen Web Data. Oh, that's cool.
Again, I'm going to skip this for the browser. And this is a little bit strange because I've done the Hermes setup process like 3 or 4 times. And each time something kind of bugs out here and there. So it's never actually bugged out like this and come to give me the image generation setup. So if this happens to you, just kind of play nice with it. I'm going to hit enter to enter in no API key there. I'm going to skip because the text-to-speech, we already did this before. Firecrawl we have for self-hosted. It's already active. So I'm going to skip this and keep the defaults for now. And it looks like we're ready to launch the Hermes chat. So I'm just going to click on Y and hit enter. And actually what happens here is that the system crashes. So if you see this also happens to me and it's completely normal, I think. I'm going to go and type in Hermes and hit enter. And now we're opening up our chat with the Hermes agent using our locally hosted model. So I'm just going to test this out and say hi there. So it might take us about 10 or 20 seconds to first load the model into our RAM to get a response. Since I'm actually recording a video at the same time that this is happening, my computer is going to be lagging a little bit. So it took, like 30 seconds there. But let's see if we can use the web search tool. Research the latest AI news. Now what we see happening over here is that the agent is actually dropping down all the tool calls that it's making as it's getting our response. And that was one of the settings that we set earlier in the video. And nice, that was actually pretty quick. So even though my computer is running under some load with this, like recording the video on my screen, that was a pretty quick response. And we have we've got a successful web search. So that means that our Firecrawl is working successfully locally. It's completely private for us. And also we're using the Gemma 4 E4B model, which once again is local and private to us. Now the final thing I want to do is actually test out that my Telegram bot works. So I'm just going to click the Telegram bot name, open up a new session.
What up, Rayan? So right now I'm trying to learn about the Hermes agent so that I can see how to set it up so that hopefully I can build projects faster. It's a bit confusing though because I'm curious as to if I need to set up a Docker container or just host it locally, because I want it to have like my information for certain logins so that it can just autonomously do things for me. to help me build projects while I'm on the go. But currently we're building Bricked Up, which is a site. It's basically like an accredited portfolio site for laborers and general contractors. So during my day job, I'm a server, and I talk to GCs a lot, and they're always like, "Yeah, we have tons of work. We just don't have the labor that wants to show up." And my idea is thinking like, okay, the laborers probably get paid not very much, and so they don't want to take on the job. Well, this will be like a accredited portfolio. So say a client posts their job on here, a GC picks it up, and then they hire like a laborer through here. The laborer learns framing, plumbing, etc. Then they get accredited for that work by the GC and by the client. They all sign off on it. And then you could say, for the laborer, they could say like, oh, I know framing, I know plumbing. So they might start off at like $15 an hour, but after they do that job, they could take on a job that's $16 to $18 an hour, and like learn skills while they're on the job. Also, another thing, so this is it'll allow like creditors and loan officers to have a portfolio for GCs or laborers, that's accredited, so that they can have a credit portfolio of their work. So say you do a job that's 500K and you got accredited by all these GCs and clients with a good rating, then say, so like the issue is, if you want to take on like a $2 million job for the government or something, you're gonna have to front that bill with credit, right? You might not get paid until 6 months to 12 months later, so you're gonna need a big credit limit until you finish the job. Well, they can look at your portfolio and it's all accredited, and they can say like, oh, he completed a job for 500K, has a 4 to 5 star rating on it. He completed another job for 200K, so like let's give him $600,000 credit limit as long as he pays it back within 12 months or whatever, you know. So this allows GCs and laborers to take on bigger jobs, so that the smaller people can have more work and the bigger people can take on bigger jobs, so that everybody benefits. But yeah, so that's one side that we're working on. Also working on a headless CMS, which basically like you just copy this code right here and you insert it into your head tag for any website, and it gives you like an app, like a medium kind of interface where you can create pages, you can create blog posts. So like if you're a webmaster, you can just insert this code, hand off a login to a client, and then they can create their own pages and blog posts themselves, instead of having to do all of that manually yourself, you know. So that's another website. And then I also submitted a build for my fitness app on the App Store, Fitnit, which allows you to send challenges and chat with people inside the app. So that's live now. There was just a UI error with the challenges, so I just submitted a build, and I'm waiting for that to get approved by Apple. But yeah, and then I'm trying to learn this Hermes agent to see how I need to set it up so that it doesn't basically like destroy my computer or log into stuff it's not supposed to.
Session, click start, and let's just see if I send hi there, if this will work. And there we go, we have the response from our Gemma 4B model directly into Telegram as well. So at this stage, we've done our initial configuration with Hermes. And if you ever want to go back and actually make changes to your Hermes agent, there's a bunch of terminal commands available on the Hermes GitHub that you can type into your terminal, and it'll give you the option to like change the model that you're using or add new models if you downloaded them through.
So if I set up a Docker container, what all would it have access to in that case? I also need to set this up. Trying to find a better job, so I don't understand why it's in YAML. So we'll do code dot. Let's open this up in VS Code. Where's the config? Thanks, Ryan. Are you working on anything right now, Ryan? Clones? What are you cloning? Is this for like a portfolio or what? Or what? God dang. Sorry, it's like the weather's been changing like crazy, so it's snowing outside, so my sinuses are all messed up. Archetypes. Help evaluate system score fit. AI, ML engineer. ML engineer turned AI product builder. This might take a lot. Target range, we'll do 90K to 300K. Oh, give me a second. Twitter clone and TikTok clone. What are you making those for, Rayan? Give me 1 second. I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, so what are you creating those for, Rayan? Is this like for a portfolio? I really don't know. Game dev. Creating platforms with no censorship. I got you. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be hard, Ryan. It seems like a lot of marketing would have to go into that. I'm sure a lot of people have tried in the past, and it's just like having to create that viralness of it is what's gonna be your hardest thing, you know. Meshy, how you liking Meshy? Cause I'm a former game developer, and I had to quit. Like, I got PTSD from game development because there's just so much that goes into game development. Like, I literally used Unity at the time. This was like 5 years ago or more. Used Unity, had to teach myself C Sharp by watching YouTube videos. Um, I guess I learned C Sharp, which it's hard in the context of Unity because the way it's set up is just real weird. Whereas like web development, it's like, okay, you have variables and then you can use them here and there. With Unity, it's like they have all these different kind of setups and things you can do, and I feel like the developers of Unity make things so much more confusing than they need to be. And this was before AI was existed, so I couldn't even like sit there and ask AI questions. I had to watch like a YouTube video, so it was just very very difficult because it was very difficult because I had to just learn everything, and so I taught myself C Sharp, and then I taught myself Blender, which is like a 3D engine. Yeah. So you know Blender. So I taught myself 3D modeling, and then it's like once you learn 3D modeling, then you're like, okay, now I gotta learn texturing, and then after you learn texturing, then you're like, oh, now I gotta learn rigging, and then after rigging, you're like, now I gotta learn animation. And each of those is a different context switch. So it's like programming, 3D modeling, rigging, or texturing, rigging, animation, and then after you have all that set up, then you put all that in the engine. You have to learn how to connect it all inside the engine. Then it's the deployment process, which I was deploying for iOS at the time. So it was like I would deploy a build, like, or build a build in Unity. Then I'd have to deploy it to Xcode, and all my settings would get destroyed every time. And then I'd test it on my phone, and something would be broken, and I'd have to fix that. And the whole process to build it would take like 10 minutes. And so like the development process for game dev in Unity was just ridiculously slow. Um, And like I said, this was before AI, so I couldn't just sit there and ask AI questions about things. I had to like watch a YouTube video or scroll through full stack and figure it out. And it was just like I burn out because it was ridiculous. And then finally get your app deployed to the iOS App Store, and then you got to learn ASO, which is App Store Optimization, or SEO and marketing, etc., which is like a whole nother field in and of itself. And so there's just too much context switching with game dev for me. I still build like web games and stuff here and there. But yeah, Meshi, like if I were to do it again, I would definitely use AI throughout the entire process, at least to get stuff built fast. Because a lot of what game development is going to be like pushing those models in the game engine, getting the stuff built quickly, iterating, and then just marketing like crazy. So yeah, I would definitely go down the path of AI, because now it's like you can use Meshi, you can use Mixamo to rig stuff and have that all in the engine within like 20 minutes, whereas in the past it would take you like a week for like one character. um Built. Project Alpha, what is this? Proof points, project articles, case studies with measurable impact. Doom, doom, doom. Fitnit. Hopefully this works. Oh, where'd it go? Hero metric. 4. What? How many users does this have? Users. Well, Rayan, if you're still here, feel free to link some of your stuff. I'll check it out. Sounds pretty interesting. What kind of game are you building? Oh man, got something in my eye. Dashboard. Oh. Wonder. HOA simulator? Yeah, you gotta tell me more about the HOA simulator because I'm actually building an app for my HOA. Or HOAs in general. So that's kind of funny. NPM doctor, I gotta do this. Add your CV. Claude, open Claude and then ask Claude to translate the modes to English. Oh man. I feel like I got junk in my eyes, bro. Oh. Handing out violations. Yo, your grass is too long. Oh my god, bro. Okay, or just paste a job URL or description to it. Auto detects it and runs the full pipeline. Description. Yeah, this is gonna use. It's gonna take me a minute for this. But that's cool. Alright, so we're going to deploy this to our site. So I have where is it? Also, what should I name the headless CMS? I need a domain name. What the hell? Where's my... let's see. Are you able to use the Cloudflare CLI to deploy this site to Cloudflare pages with this domain on port on? Use Cloudflare to deploy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And see if it can do it all through the CLI. I've done this process like 3 or 4 times, but you know. It's always interesting to see how it does it. Alright, well that's working. I need to figure out what's going on with this site. Where is it at? The headless one. Dashboard. See, I have this site. Hey, wait, it didn't ask me for a login that time. Interesting. The local host didn't ask me for a login, but on the deployed site it does. That's pretty sick. Yeah, so here's the site. where we create. So this is our test page. So I think I can do it through localhost. We're gonna try to create a new page, right? So this is our test one, which I gotta figure out how to make it look like these, but anyway, I'll just brand new. So we'll create a new page. Test to create and edit main nav footer. Second test page. We get some lorem ipsum in there. Ooh, I don't like that. Let's see. All right. Can you make the page and blog basically like the editor, the block editor? Can you make it perform more like Medium's blog editor service, where everything is really intuitive and minimalistic UI? Also, I noticed when making a paragraph, it has like a scroll wheel and doesn't automatically just show the entire paragraph, which looks ugly. Can you fix that? Now we'll see where we're at with our bricked up. So the Cloudflare pages should use our GitHub. So make sure that you stage, commit, and push all of our changes so far, and then hook up a new Cloudflare pages site with the GitHub. So that anytime we push changes, it automatically gets updated. Do as much as you can on your own, and just let me know what kind of commands you're going to need for me to post in the paste in the terminal to get all the authentication working. This is Whisper Flow. Here, I'll link it. Oh, damn it. There's a bunch of different ones, but this is the one I use. I don't know. It was like the first mover. And so I just downloaded it when it first came out and haven't used anything else since. And my computer's getting laggy. Give me a second while I close out some of these programs. So I'm done making changes on my iOS app, so we'll just close that. And then we can move this. This. Perfect. Okay, and I'm gonna close out. Where's Xcode? Yo, where the hell is it? Oh, here we go. Quit that. Done. Yeah, my computer's getting laggy. What up, MRID? Alright, so we're gonna get the Bricked Up site live. That's gonna be next. Social media scheduler, I gotta get all the API keys and create like a meta. I gotta get a meta developer API key. Well, here, we could just write that down actually. Meta dev API key. Okay, what the hell? Why is it doing that? Oh, that's weird. TikTok dev API key. What, Pinterest? Headless CMS site is live actually, but needs work, and yeah, so we're just gonna focus on this one for now. Give me a second. Gotta look up something. See if it's actually creating the repo. Yeah, I think. Updated now. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Uh-oh. Have another one. I need to clean up my GitHub. Okay, so custom domain tab, set up custom domain. Oh wait, what the hell? While the build verifies in the background, here's exactly what you need to do. All in the Cloudflare dashboard, their CLI doesn't support setting up Git integration, only the dashboard does. Okay, word. Alright, let me blow my nose and then I'll get that working. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot. I was like, so Merid88, what is up? What are you doing? Open up our Cloudflare. We'll sign in. Alright, so we're in Cloudflare and I'm going to show you how to deploy a site. So go create application. Now, this is where it gets confusing, because this is going to be a worker, and what you're going to need to do is click this little deploy pages button. Okay, now import an existing Git repository, get started. This is our bricked up. Begin setup. Product name, product branch. Alright. Save and deploy. This is an Expo app, by the way. This might be different for your setup. Alright, moment of truth. See if everything compiles. Uh-oh, I don't have a regular config. It might not build then. What the fuck? What is this doing? No. Fuck, bro. I did the wrong site. Fuck. Alright. Damn it, dude. I fucked up. I meant to paste that last prompt in a different project. I don't even know what to change, bro. Okay, so let's see. So I noticed in the editor, can you please make it behave more like the medium? Let's see. Yeah, okay. I also noticed that the paragraphs aren't displaying fully and there's a scroll bar, which looks very tacky. Motherfucker, dude. I don't care, bro. I don't. Bro, stop opening shit. Also, I noticed that the paragraphs are not displaying the entire paragraph, and there's a scroll bar which looks very tacky. Check and see. Oh, it worked? Hell yeah. Sweet. Oh, ooh, wait. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Chevy toned up and none of my dicks now. Alright, cool. Try develop your project locally. me a second, because I don't know if I'm supposed to share this info. Alright, so now I need to go back to, where is it, pork bun. Okay. I guess I gotta wait for it to propagate. Give it a few minutes.